So, for anyone who's here on the stream, welcome to the Pokemon Grand Prix TBL intro roster video extravaganza. We are the TBL, the Summer League, and the regular main season players are going to be, a few of us are going to be participating in this League War Pokemon Grand Prix, first of its kind. It is a Wi-Fi league, and the TBL is primarily a Wi-Fi league, so we were invited as one of the 8 different leagues that will be participating. We will be taking on teams from, or players, teams, whatever you want to say, from the APA, the BBL, the BRE, the ICBA, the NCP, the PCL, and the PGBL, as well as, of course, the TBL, being the last alphabetically, but the best league ever. So, I have pulled together a few questions. I needed to make an intro video for this league. Don't ask me why, but I did. They decided to tell me that this past week, and it's due on Sunday. It will be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. And so we will be taking this league by storm. They don't really know who we are. I'm going to be honest. TBL is probably the smallest league there, but we are certainly not a league lacking talent or excitement. So I have a few guys here in call with me who are going to be having some fun, and I have a few guys who are not here in call, but I will be giving you guys their responses as well. So this should be a very entertaining little endeavor for all of us, and get to know your coaches a little bit for the TBL. So, what is the Pokemon Grand Prix? It is a best of 7 season for best of 7 series. I don't know, best of 7. I feel like I want to say it one more time, but there isn't really anything. So each week we are going to bring 7 out of the 9 coaches chosen effectively by me, but sort of by scheduling. And we are going to match up against 7 coaches from another league. So week 1 we will be taking on the APA. They have 9 coaches from the APA as well. 7 of them will be participating in week 1 against us. Now, I don't have to participate in a certain week or whatever. It's not like I have to face the leader over there that is Panther of the APA. I don't have to face him. I can face anybody. But I am just one of the 9 guys at this point. I'm just kind of the one who's keeping them all in check and rounded up all together. So we are going to be taking on that league and the APA in week 1. We pick 7 players. Each of us plays a battle. We have 6 Mons, or we have a team of 9 that we chose ourselves. We didn't draft. The TBL was able to make each of our teams together and work together collaboratively on that. And then we go and we battle the teams that the APA made collaboratively. But each of us has our own independent team. It's not quite the DPL in the sense that you just have teams assigned and you get put on one of the rosters. The roster is unique to you, so if you don't battle, those Mons are not battling. And then you are going to be assigned randomly someone from the other league who has also signed up for that week, and you are going to be battling them. So we are, for instance, taking on the APA, and I will be taking on, for instance, Die It Tight. I don't actually know how I'm supposed to emphasize that. Die It Tight or Die It Tight. But anyway, taking on Die in week 1, and we just it just randomly got picked that way. So that's the kind of thing that happens, and then we will prep and we will battle, and all of the battles will be recapped on my YouTube channel, not always on stream. This one I'm doing on stream because I think it'll be fun, and we are the Twitch Battle League, so why not have the Twitch Battle League announcement go on Twitch? That makes sense to me, but the battle recaps will probably be posted on YouTube because they're going to be much more heavily edited and things like that. But anyway, I have got these guys here with me, so would you guys, my coaches, and the members of the TBL, like to introduce yourselves one by one, please? So Insanity, since you unmuted yourself, why don't you go first?
Alright, first of all, I'm Insanity, coach of the Washington Venonationals, and first of all, I would like to say that Patrat is trash. It's the worst rodent. That's the first thing I have to say. Hold on, I have a list. Let me get my list.
Okay, hold on. Just introduce yourself. Just say hi, and we'll do the whole questioning in a minute.
All right, hello. My name's Insanity, and I'm gonna pass it to someone else.
All right. I know Eon's here. Alec jumped in first. Great, Alec, go ahead. We're really organized here.
And I'm coach of the Wisconsin Wailords here.
Eon is here as well.
Yeah, I am here. Yeah, don't worry. Hello, my name is Eon, and I'm the coach of the Runaway Rangers.
And I believe that Playmaker will be joining us as well before the end of this this little call. But we will have a lot of fun with this call for a little while. I'm not going to rush this or anything like that. So, and so anyway, I decided that for this, we were supposed to introduce our coaches. I am just going to have them answer a handful of questions that I had asked them before, and then I will display their team up on screen for you guys as well. So we will get started. I guess, Insanity, since you were going to jump into it, we'll have you be our first representative of this this little endeavor. Let's call it. I don't think there's a better word for it than that. It's certainly an exciting little thing. So we'll jump over to Insanity's team, which is in no particular order. It's the order that the sprites showed up on my Photoshop. Pilliswine, Rotom, Celesteela, Darmanitan, Primarina, Cinccino, Roserade, Crocodile, and Megaladios, with Celesteela and Primarina being the 2 Z users. All right, Insanity, we're going to do rapid fire question time. What is your favorite non-Pokemon game or series?
Well, it has to be Luigi's Mansion.
Really? Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah.
Dude, I love the original one, but the rest of the series has been lackluster in my opinion.
I hate Dark Moon.
All right. So as long as we agree on that, I was like, it better be game, not series for that. Would you please tell me your least favorite rodent?
Patrat. Patrat's trash.
I like that answer a lot. Which do you believe is more of a sport, table tennis or golf?
Table tennis.
Okay. And what is a fun fact about you that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows?
Probably that I started playing mods like a year ago. Not even that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So that is Insanity, everybody. He is the first coach that we are introducing here. Next up, we'll go to Alex, since he was the next guy who jumped in to call before. And so Alec is rocking out with a rain team in the PGP with Tapu Koko, Ferrothorn, Mega Swampert, Cryogonal, Drapion, Gothitelle, Hariyama, Kingdra, and Pelipper. And his 2 Z users are Tapu Koko and Kingdra. We were able to pick any 2 Z users from our roster that we wanted, as long as they weren't the Mega. So he did pick Koko and Kingdra as his 2 Z users. All right, Alec, we are going to ask you the same series of questions. So what is your favorite non-Pokemon game or series?
It probably has to be the Borderlands series, and my favorite game from that is Borderlands 2.
All right. I've actually never played Borderlands personally, but I hear really good things about it, so maybe I should get on that. What is your least favorite rodent?
Just a rat, I guess. It's just
a general rat?
Yeah.
All right. Which do you believe is more of a sport, table tennis or golf?
Table tennis for sure.
All right, 2-0 table tennis right now. That's pretty wild. A fun fact about you that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows.
I have a fake front tooth since I got it.
Fake
chipped.
Front tooth?
Fake.
Okay, what happened to the real front tooth?
My brother and I were playing tackle football in the basement without mouth guards. Never a good idea. Wear mouth guards.
Is your basement carpeted, or is it just like hard concrete you went down?
It's carpeted, so it wasn't too bad, but yeah, I chipped it off of his head, so.
Oh, you chipped on his head?
Yes.
Oh my god, when I was in elementary school, there were these 2 guys who were playing it was just 2-hand touch football. There was a bunch of people playing, it was a whole game, but 2 of the guys collided, and one of the guy's front teeth got lodged in the other one's forehead, knocked out of his mouth and lodged in the other guy's forehead. So they were like 4th graders, so I know how bad it can be when you're an elementary schooler running around being a crazy person. But anyway, at this point, we are going to jump over to Eon's team. Eon is the coach of the Runaway Rangers and is rocking a team of Sylveon, Heatran, Kyurem Black.
Sake.
What's up? Oh,
Sorry, it crashed for me for some reason. When you literally said my name, it just crashed.
it was fated to happen. Sylveon, Heatran, Kyurem Black, Crobat, Leafeon, Mew, Palisand, Alolan, Persian, and the Rotom Wash, with Kyurem Black and Mew being his 2 Z users. I believe Munium Z is banned.
Yeah, Munium Z is no, Munium Z is allowed. Actually,
Munium Z is allowed.
I
lied.
Yeah,
I was wrong. I believe Munium Z is allowed. See, YouTube doesn't even know I was wrong. So we are going to ask you the same series of questions as everybody else. What is your favorite non-Pokemon game or series?
The Monster Hunter franchise, even if I haven't gone to play the newest entry yet, because limitations on my PC.
A reasonable reason not to play something, although it does sound like
Yeah.
you need to get a better computer instead. Can you name your least favorite rodent?
When you asked the question, I assume you meant the electric rodent, so I chose Vene because I have zero emotional attachment to it at all.
Okay, I like how we've gone in completely different directions with this for everybody. But yeah, so that's fine. I didn't consider what rodent family people were going to pick from. Which is more of a sport, table tennis or golf?
Table tennis for sure.
Wow, I didn't realize this was going to be such a one-sided question. And a fun fact about you that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows.
I actually did not own a smartphone until I was 17, and for reference, I'm only 19 now, so yeah. Like, I won't see any phone at all. Like, the only thing I had is like a small Nokia that I barely could even text with, so...
I also don't think I got a smartphone until I was... Well, actually, I didn't get a smartphone until I was like 19, but that being said, that was also years ago. So, if only I could still be 19. So I'm going to try to give Playmaker a chance to show up. If people want to ping him as many times as they possibly can to see if he'll actually come into call, I would really appreciate that. In the meantime, we're going to jump into some of the guys who couldn't make it, who sent in their answers. They submitted them to me in a separate way. So we're going to jump over, we're going to jump back here, and then we're going to jump over to Manbird's team. Manbird, coach of the Fort Wayne Gastrodons, has Zapdos, Avalugg, Excadrill, Hitmonchan, Megapincer, Salazzle, I said that's super weird, Salazzle, Slowbro, Slurpuff, and the Tyranitar. And his Z users are the Excadrill and the Salazzle. So a little bit of a sand team. We've got rain and sand so far. Now, Manbird is, obviously, goes by Bright Lovely Manbird on Discord and is coach of the Fort Wayne Gastrodons. His favorite non-Pokemon game or series is XCOM. And his least favorite rodent is, and quote, rat, easily. Okay, very strong feelings about that. Which is more of a sport, table tennis or golf? He will be our 4th vote for table tennis. And a fun fact about you that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows, he said, my middle name comes from my uncle, who died when he was just a few days old. We share the same birthday, August 2nd. So, kind of a sadder entry there, but very interesting fact nonetheless. Not as fun, but interesting, which we obviously hear on the I was gonna say New York Empoleon, but the TBL. We are representing the TBL here. We accept interesting as a substitute for fun in all ways. So next up, we're gonna jump over to Colin's team. I don't know why I said the S with the next word there. Colin's team here is the one we're gonna jump over to. And we are going to see that the coach of the Boston Cosmogs is rocking Victini, Armaldo, Doublade, Haxorus, Mega Lopunny, Alolan, Ninetales, Raikou, Seismitoad, and Tangrowth, with Victini and Raikou being his 2 Z users that he has selected. And we have his answers to his questions as well. So his screen name, I asked everyone their screen name, but I had those guys introduce themselves. So he is Collin TB, coach of the Boston Cosmogs and the Valencia Venusaurs. He favorite non-Pokemon game or series is Rocket League, and which I own but I've never played. I need to get a controller so that I can actually play it really right. I don't own a PS4 or an Xbox One or anything, so I don't have a controller that can plug into my computer. So I just need to acquire one. I was gifted Rocket League by a friend, and I still need to play it. Looks super fun though. His least favorite rodent is specifically the naked mole rat. Once they clothe it, it's fine. Which is more of a sport, table tennis or golf? He says table tennis. So apparently this is a bad question and I should be fired from survey making. A fun fact about you that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows. I have drafted Cosmog on multiple occasions. I'm assuming that what nobody knows is that he's done it more than once. I feel like everyone thinks that it's the meme the first time, and he's like, no. They don't know. They don't even know I've done it many times. So welcome to the TBL roster, Colin. He is a long-time member of the TBL family, but he has changed his logo and names and everything over the years, and it's pretty exciting to see all the changes that he has gone through. Next up, for another person that could not be on right now, we have HefNasty and the St. Louis Charizards, who are going to be rocking out with a team of Typhlosion, Hydreigon, Jolteon, Deancey, Landorus Therian, Mega Gallade, Scizor, Tangela, and the Toxapex. And his 2 Z users are going to be Landorus, Therian, and Hydreigon. He says, when asked these questions, his name is HefNasty, coach of the St. Louis Charizards. His favorite non-Pokemon game or series is the Mass Effect trilogy. His least favorite rodent is, quote, rat, I suppose. Fair. Which is more of a sport, table tennis or golf? He says, I'd go with table tennis because you are more physically active in it. Now, the reason this question was originally posed, that table tennis and golf actually require the same amount of movement per game, or round in golf, but table tennis is over a much smaller space, so they are quicker movements, whereas golf is over a much longer space, so they are slower movements. Anyway, a fun fact about you that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows. He says, I love to collect Pops figures. What a guy. Oh, Heff. What a people's champ. So shout outs to Heff for just being Heff, honestly. That's phenomenal. I'm so stoked about that. So, as you may have guessed, there are a few coaches we have not yet heard from, those being myself, who will go last, supposedly, unless Playmaker decides not to show. Playmaker, who I'm hoping comes into call. He's online right now, but he is not joining the call. And Beta, and the reason we haven't heard from Beta yet is because he actually submitted his responses via a actual voice recording. So I'm actually excited to play that one for you guys. But Playmaker has joined us, so welcome, Playmaker, to the call. You made it just in time. I was just getting worried and about to start stalling for time.
Oh, but, yeah, I got you, dude. No worries.
But literally right on time he shows up. So anyway, Playmaker is coach of the Atlanta Raichus, and he... Whoa, what just happened? Why did that happen? I don't understand what's going on. Anyway, it turned black for no reason. Alright, hold on. We're gonna make this work. Power of movie magic. We're just gonna say, you know... where'd it go? We're gonna say bam, and there's his team. Zeraora, Espeon, Garchomp, Infernape, Mega Scizor, Roselia, Suicune, Togekiss, and Umbreon, and his 2 Z users are going to be Garchomp and Zeraora. So, Playmaker, I have to ask, what is your favorite non-Pokemon game or series?
I will probably say Kingdom Hearts.
Is that a specific game, or are you referring to the series as a whole?
That series.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite rodent?
This is probably the hardest question I've had to answer in quite some time. But I probably will go with Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse? What did she do to you?
I mean, she just seems so annoying, dude. Like, I mean, it was between that and what was another Jerry from Tom and Jerry.
You don't like Jerry?
I mean, he's so mean to Tom.
Well, Tom's also mean to him, to be fair.
Well, Jerry started it. Jerry's always looking for food. He's always like sucking up to
the owner or whatever, like Tom's owner or whatever, and making Tom look like a bad cat. Packer fan hates me. He's like, what did Jerry do? I said Minnie Mouse. I said Minnie Mouse, and Jerry's in second place.
I mean, the silver medal.
I don't know what other rats are out there, but I mean, I couldn't say naked mole rat because by saying naked mole rats, I would be hating on Rufus, the goat, and everybody loves Rufus. So,
all right, which is more of a sport, table tennis or golf?
Table tennis, for sure.
That is 6-0 right now for table tennis, or 7-0 actually, it might be. And a fun fact about you that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows.
Okay, so I mentioned this last. Okay, so I mentioned one fun fact last time when you were streaming about how I'm actually like I'm on IMDb and I was like in an actual movie that was on Netflix for I think it was like for like 4 or 5 years, and they just took it off like last month. But it was called Premature. But I'll share another fun fact with you about myself.
All right.
So when I was in college, I saved the life of a former Miss America model.
Really?
Yes. She was actually in my weight training class, and so I have to tell the story now. So basically, I was in my sophomore year. I had no idea who she was, by the way, at the time. But she was just in my weight training class, and like literally like every guy would just be looking at her while they worked out, like because she was just like so hot. Her name's Kirsten Hogland, by the way, if you want to look her up. But she was Miss America, I think, in 2009, and so like there was one day when I was just doing my stretches, and I saw her at the bench press. I don't know why she was bench pressing without a spotter, but she was, and apparently nobody else was looking at her at the time, which I found to be wild. And then there was a point where she just was not able to lift the bar up, and so I just kind of like briskly walked over, and so I didn't like catch attention or whatever, but like and then I helped her out with the bar, and yeah, Hydra, I was thirsty, okay? No lie, dude. She was so hot. Yo, look her up. Her name is Kirsten Hogland, Kirsten, and Hogland's her last name, Haglund. And then after I saved her, like she like thanked me and everything, and then we talked a lot about just like ourselves, and then she asked me about like kind of like what my major was, and I was told her I was going to theater, and then she was telling me her brother was actually in the Beauty and the Beast when it was on tour, like all over the place or whatever, and she was just telling me how competitive entertainment industry was and all that, and I still didn't know who she was at this point. I didn't know she was a former Miss America model, and I found out a year later when Emery did an interview with her. And they were like, we're now interviewing our like a former Miss America model who is enrolled here at Emory University. And I'm like, are you knocking futz? I was talking to a former Miss America model that whole time. Like, what? But yeah, that was basically how that went down. So.
Wow. Okay, that's a fun fact that required an entire story.
Yeah.
This is Playmaker for you guys. He always has fun facts that require entire full-length novel stories.
I'm trying to keep the stream interesting. You know how we do.
But we are going to jump over to another very interesting thing. I have not currently listened to it, so I have no idea what's about to happen. But we're going to jump over to Beta's team now. Beta, coach of the Las Vegas Victini, has a team of Zoroark, Blacephalon, Bronzong, Donphan, Electivire, Mega Altaria, Quillfish, Tapu Bulu, and Tornadus T, with Blacephalon and Tapu Bulu being his two possible Z users. Personally would have gone with Torn T there, but he did what he felt he needed to do. So, I am gonna now go ahead and see... Okay, hold on. I have to go to my downloads folder. And I have to find it. Because I'm very professional, and I only do things way ahead of time. And I definitely have everything prepared. Obviously. So, so he sent me this link. All right, here we go. Everyone ready? I'm gonna let this link do the talking because I have not listened to it. So I'm very excited.
And before you get rickrolled, dude.
Hello everyone, I am Beta from the Las Vegas Victini. My favorite non-Pokemon gamer series I would have to say is Fire Emblem, due to it just being super fun and having the ability to meet a bunch of new characters and have like cool battles. My least favorite rodent is by far Alolan Rattata. Golf is more of a sport than table tennis due to it actually being more televised and popularized and having a slightly higher skill requirement. And a fun fact about me that no one else in the community
Wait,
knows
who's
is that
drinking
I walk
water?
incredibly fast.
Me.
I didn't hear the last thing. You guys all just talked over his fun fact.
Hello, community really knows is that
I didn't hear
walk
any of this. I don't hear anything that's going on.
Stop talking. I'll mute you. I just want Beta's turn. Alright, I did not hear what his fun fact
a
was.
slightly higher skill requirement. And a fun fact about me that no one else in the community really knows is that I walk incredibly fast.
He walks incredibly fast. There you go. So that's Beta. Apparently his favorite series is Fire Emblem, and he believes Alolan Rattata is the worst rat, and is the worst rodent, I should say. He believes golf is more of a sport than table tennis, due to it being more televised, which I think is an interesting way to define that. And a fun fact is that he walks very fast. So, the final person who has not yet gone is going to be, obviously, myself. The New York Empoleon are going to be using a team of Mega Diancie, Rotom Heat, Jirachi Noivern, Mamoswine, Alomomola, Decidueye, Alolan Muck, and my classic Ditto, with Mamoswine and Noivern being my two possible Z users this season. I will also answer this series of questions, of course. My favorite non-Pokemon game or series is, like Beta, Fire Emblem. I did not realize he was going to say that. Super excited for Three Houses coming out next month. Will be taking the 26th off of work and doing a live stream of myself playing through the game as much as I can get through on that day, which I'm super excited for. My least favorite rodent. See, the problem is I actually don't dislike rodents, so I didn't really think about myself when I was putting these questions up. But I think I'm going to have to say my least favorite rodent is going to be the shrew. Shrews are weird. Super weird. Next up, which is more of a sport, table tennis or golf? I'm actually, despite being a golfer, I'm going to have to say table tennis is more of a sport. Side with the majority here. I didn't realize it was going to be a 8-1 majority, but you know, that is the way it goes sometimes. And a fun fact about me that nobody else in the Pokemon community knows. Well, with the number of times people have said rats are their least favorite rodent, let's go with this fun fact. My sister once had a pet rat, and pet rats, not to be confused with patrats, pet rats are actually fantastic pets. They learn their name. They can hear when the food bag, you shake the food bag, they'll come, they'll sit on your shoulder and just hang out. Their claws are super sharp, but they'll just hang there. They are affectionate, they are loving, they are actually great pets to have. Unlike mice and other rodents that people will have as pets, like gerbils and hamsters and mice, rats are phenomenal pets. This was a Dumbo-eared rat. She got it from the pet store, and 2 weeks after she got it from the pet store, it gave birth to a litter of 9 baby rats. So we had 10 rats in my house, in this little cage, and they cannot be separated from their mother until they're 3 weeks old because they are still nursing. But by 4 weeks old, the males are fertile and they will impregnate their siblings. So you have to get the males out of the cage between week 3 and week 4, or you are about to have more rats. They will go absolutely crazy starting in week 4. So we actually ended up selling a whole bunch of them back to the pet store and keeping one girl and the mother. Both rats lived wonderfully happy lives, and they passed away, both of them, at about age 2.5, which is pretty old for a rat. They usually live about 2 years. And so we had rats for about 4 years in my house. The only annoying thing about them was the fact that they would spin the wheel at night. They'd be running on the wheel at night, and it would squeak. They wouldn't squeak, but the wheel would be squeaky. So we had all sorts of rodent pets growing up. We had mice, we had rats. So I actually have a fondness for rats. Personally, I think they're actually a fantastic pet, and anyone who's considering a small animal pet should consider a rat. Now, you have to make sure you handle the rat when they're a little baby, because then they will be tamed when they are older. If you don't handle them when they're a baby, they'll bite. They're feral animals. But if you do handle them like you handle a dog when it's a puppy, you will have a fantastic pet. So that's the TBL. Those are our introductions. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed this little interlude on the stream and video on YouTube, and we are going to be taking on together, the 9 of us who you've heard from, taking on the Pokemon Grand Prix, and we are looking to surprise a few people with some very, very talented coaches. We are a incredibly accepting community, love having anybody join us, and we are still growing rapidly, where a lot of Wi-Fi leagues are struggling right now. We are having literally no issues growing and finding new people. Multiple TBL coaches have joined other leagues because those leagues were scrounging for coaches more than we were, so we were able to actually give coaches to the other ones, including CJ, the coach of the Philadelphia Fions, Alex Cool Rocket, who's a mod here. So we have members all over the place, which is super exciting, and I'm very glad that this community has exploded the way that it has. For anyone who wants to learn more about the TBL, the Discord link is in the description below on YouTube, or !TBL Discord, and you can join it here if you're on Twitch. That is all for today. I will see you guys back here next week with the weekly recap. That will be our weekly thing for the next 7 weeks as we take on the other 7 leagues here, possibly more if we make the playoffs. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. And cut. So no longer on YouTube. This is now all Twitch. We're not going to go back. Not going